With these thoughts in mind, the governing body wants to share some significant adjustments with you that are currently underway at Bethel, and how these changes will shape Bethel's service going forward. And so we invite you to watch the following video, Bethel Service, a vital part of whatever you are doing. According to Isaiah 60, verse 17, Jehovah said, "Instead of the copper, I will bring in gold, and instead of the iron, I will bring in silver." With these words, Jehovah promised that the quality of the earthly part of his organization would gradually improve. The governing body has decided to make an adjustment to the way Bethel service is viewed. Moving forward, Bethel service will no longer be viewed as a lifelong assignment. Bethel will continue to be a place where individuals come to work hard for Jehovah and receive training that can be used by his organization. However, the focus will now be for brothers and sisters to use that training in the field or wherever Jehovah's organization needs them most. To support this decision, we are excited to inform you of a series of new refinements at Bethel. First, there will be more regular movement of personnel from the field to Bethel and from Bethel back to the field. As mentioned earlier, serving at Bethel will no longer be viewed as a permanent assignment. So while there will always be a need for experienced older ones to help train the next generation of Bethelites, many who come to Bethel will serve for a time, receive training, gain valuable experience, train others, and then apply that training in the field. There will be predetermined times in each Bethelite service when we will consider where his or her training can best be used.
So this is probably the most significant change that was unveiled at the 2025 annual meeting. We've just been hearing from Kenneth Cooke, who is a governing body member, and he is explaining that Bethelites are essentially now more disposable. That's an easier way to put it. He's talking about how Bethel service is no longer considered a lifelong assignment, which is how it used to be. You used to sign up for Bethel or apply, and the understanding was that it would be for life, literally until old age, so that you are an old person being cared for in Bethel. Bethel becomes like your retirement home. That used to be the situation, and you can understand why the organization might be a little bit tired of that, of being responsible for generations and generations of Bethelites who are aging, because Armageddon isn't coming and they are growing old and needing care as they grow old. And this is a drain on the organization's resources. Wouldn't it be better if Bethelites were more disposable? If the organization could just get rid of them as they need to, so that if a Bethelite becomes gravely ill or a little bit too old and senile, they can be given a new assignment outside of Bethel so that they can be someone else's problem. That's essentially what all of this is about. But isn't it clever the way they describe it, or they pitch it as being a refinement? This is an improvement. This is like gold instead of silver. This is some wise, profound flash of new light that Jehovah has given us. Nonsense. You've just found a way to make Bethelites, to make those who enter full-time service more disposable, to give you more control over their lives, so that you actually have less accountability when inevitably the end doesn't come as soon as you've been telling them.
Does this mean that everyone currently serving at Bethel will eventually be transferred to the field? No. There will continue to be a need for both older and younger ones. But you may be wondering, if there is more regular movement at Bethel, how will the vital work done there continue to be cared for? That leads us to the second refinement. Greater emphasis will be placed on accelerated training. We want to help brothers and sisters gain the skills needed to serve in a variety of assignments more quickly. This training includes entrusting younger brothers with more responsibility sooner. Older brothers will assist and mentor younger brothers, helping them to take on positions of responsibility and oversight at Bethel. A third significant refinement will involve the way we organize the large number of willing volunteers who apply to expand their theocratic service. Greater emphasis will be placed on making wise and judicious use of part-time commuters, as well as remote and temporary volunteers. This means determining the right number of people at Bethel so that as many as possible can devote their efforts to the all-important preaching work. Serving at Bethel is a unique opportunity to receive valuable training that can benefit both you and the organization for years to come, including into the new world. Parents, help your children to make serving at Bethel a goal so that they can receive this valuable training. This is one way that you can help them to work hard for Jehovah in whatever they are doing. To those who have already started serving outside of Bethel, please be assured of our love and appreciation. Your Bethel experience is a gift. Be generous in sharing that gift with others. Encourage your brothers and sisters to serve Jehovah whole-souled in whatever they are doing, so that they too can experience the blessings you have enjoyed.
I like how the third item on their list is wise use of volunteers, as opposed to unwise use of volunteers. I mean, isn't it a given that if you have volunteers, you try to use them wisely? Is this really something that needs a policy change? It feels like they're just padding out the list at this point. I think the only really notable thing that's changed is item 1. Item 1 is what it's all about. We want to be able to get rid of Bethelites whenever we want, whether it's because they get old or because they get sick or because we need to close a branch and downsize, which is actually something that actually happened. I think it was around 2013 or 2014. There was a sudden announcement at a morning worship one morning. Oh, by the way, we're going to be axing the worldwide Bethel family by such a percentage. They've done this already, but because it wasn't part of the policy, it came as a huge shock. And what they've realized they need to be able to do is do this whenever as a matter of course, so that it's no longer like a surprise thing. Oh, we need to get rid of so many of our Bethel family. If they instead have regular reviews or predetermined interviews where they can assess whether they want to keep someone in Bethel or put them out to pasture, quite frankly, then they have more control and they're less accountable for the people who have pledged their lives to serve the organization. The second point on the list was also superfluous if you think about it, because of course, if you're going to have this policy of rotating staff constantly, you need the training. You can't get rid of someone if they've got special knowledge of how to do a certain job that hasn't been passed on to somebody else. So if this is their new way of doing things, then of course they need to have greater transfer of knowledge and skills. So it's a no-brainer that they would need extra training if they're going to rotate more and if they are going to treat members of the Bethel family and people in full-time service as, again, disposable.